Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Hawaii Blues fan, we're bleeding blue with you.
Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues.
I can't get nothing right today. Oh, yeah, man. Oh, my goodness. I almost called it right. And Brad Pond? Brad, perfect game. Well, let me rephrase that. He got all the scores right, but he picked Kyrou, and Kyrou didn't get any points for him. But, oh, my goodness. And if you guys had O'Reilly, 4 points for O'Reilly. Oh, man. This is going to be fun in the contest. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. Let's bring in the Brock. Mr. Brock Tanner, how you doing, sir?
I'll tell you what, I'm a lot happier now than I was before. But nice game, man. Good game.
I'm sorry.
What? Here's the Hattie for O'Reilly, buddy.
Yeah, that's a second one this season and his third in his career, all with St. Louis. Yeah, really, this was a better game, you know. Hold on, let's see. So I got a holy jumping. What happened to ROR's eye? He got hit in the puck.
Yeah,
he got hit with a puck. Right? Chris Shockley says chicken dinner. Ryan Green, almost at 5-4 final, but we won. Hey, Ryan, I know you're new. I run a pick'em contest on stlfanreport.com. Check it out. It'll open later today for the game on Monday. It goes every game for the rest of the season. A lot of good prizes, man. Check it out. You'll enjoy it. Kevin, Ryan freaking O'Reilly. I'm with you on that. And that's how you get a 5-3 win. Yep. Hey, Jordan, you forgot your pick. Don't get upset. Don't get upset.
Vince?
But I know you get it next time.
Vince?
I don't know. I'm looking for. Oh yeah. Where is it? Where's our Colorado guy? You know, he'll come in and give us all this crap.
Yeah.
Holy crap! On the golden cracker Batman, we beat the monster. Yeah, that was a good game. Kyle says I did good. Yeah. Was 1 point off. So I'm getting all these comments real quick. And hey, I got to introduce a brand new member of the STL Fan Report. I've got some stories by him. I haven't worked on them. I got to work on them today and tomorrow. But please give a great big welcome to the newest writer and podcaster, Mr. Richard Campbell. Richard, how you doing, sir?
Not too bad.
Right. So I know that you're up in Canada. What team is your number one team? A team that you're really a fan of?
Detroit, no question. And you might be confused on why I'm wearing this Rangers jersey. And it's because I'm not such a fan of one team and like what you guys are. I'm a fan of the entire NHL on how teams are built.
Yeah. I love that about you. You and me have had some really, really good talks lately. You've written 3 stories for me. And yes, I know I need to edit them and get them out. I apologize. I'll get them. And I know you're going to work on one for the Campbell or the coach's trophy, right?
The Jack Adams.
Jack Adams. Yeah. I'm Jack Adams. You know, I know you're going to work on that, and I'm going to your Norris is out. I want to take another look at your Hart trophy. Did you have, because I don't remember the names in your Hart. Did you have Matthews in your Hart?
Absolutely.
What about McKinnon?
No, I don't have McKinnon in my top 5.
Top 5? Ooh, would that change today after today's game?
No, he's still number 7.
I like this. This is going to be really fun. Jordan says, I know I did, Guy. The minute I realized the game was out, I forgot my pick, and I got really, really aggravated. And then Shid did stuff, and I got more aggravated. You know what? We love you, Jordan. You don't need to get aggravated because you miss it. Just know that we all love you, and you're one of the great supporters of the Blue Note Fan Report, and we appreciate that. You know. So hey, Rich.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I said, before we get all caught up in this, let's talk about the fact that we got 2 points, okay, which we sorely needed. We got the games in hand in Arizona. This puts us really right back in, in a good spot in the playoffs. So let's before we get caught up in all this, let's just say this was a big win in the race, and I'm glad to see it.
Yeah, no, that's great points. Great points. This was a huge win, especially since Phoenix plays tonight, right? Or Arizona. I keep calling it Phoenix. Arizona plays tonight, so that could change. They could jump back up that point, but it forces them to have to win. Mm-hmm. They're playing LA. LA's kind of sort of in this too. So, we all know that what's happening with the teams and all of that. It's important to watch. But this is a statement win almost, because really after the 2-0 start, I'd say for the most part, other than, the second, just a bit, the Blues kind of controlled this game. Richard, you're a big fan of, all teams in that. And what I know you like, how do you think this game kind of roller coaster to wherever? Do you think that the Blues played even with Colorado and got lucky for the win, or that Colorado outplayed him and got lucky for the win? What do you think, bud?
Well, I logged into the game kind of late as I had work, but from what I saw from the late first period on, I think St. Louis was the better team. Like, Ryan O'Reilly had a terrific night. He did what he should be expected to do every night. Vince Dunn had another solid game. He's had a really good run lately. Bennington wasn't awful. He was pretty decent. So I think St. Louis deserved the win.
Yeah, the power play, that last power play, 5-on-3, that's the first time we scored a 5-on-3 in 3 years. Over 3 years, almost 4, right? I think 16-17 is the last time we scored on a 5-on-3. It's been a while. But that was well done. Hoffman to the top of the circle, like Chris Shockley said, and bam, wham, bam. Thank you, man. We got another goal. There's a good chance that, and I know I'm thinking ahead a little bit. There is a good chance that this is your first round playoff match, right? Colorado and St. Louis. So, Richard, I know that you've been giving us a lot of thought. We've been talking offline. What do you think? How do you think St. Louis matches up in a 7-game series against Colorado? Can they win a couple games? Can they actually take it to 7? Or could they win the series?
Well, it depends what type of the Blues show up. Is it going to be for early season Blues, or is it for Blues that we saw as of late? From my perspective, St. Louis lost to the Canucks, a fast, speedy team who deserved to win, quite frankly. St. Louis had a good couple of games. For 2 games they won, they showed what they did in the 2019 playoffs. But ultimately, they were outlasted, and Colorado is the same type of team as Vancouver, but much better, much more experienced, much more seasoned. I think St. Louis is just as good as they were last year in the bubble, which is a decent team, but not the team that we saw before the pandemic hit. I think Colorado takes it in 5 as they have better offense, better defense, better goaltending, better intangibles, better coach, better everything.
Well, I'm with you with one exception, right? I think Bennington's better than Dubrovnik, but we don't know when Grubauer's coming back, right? Dubnik, yeah. I think Bennington's better than him. And now if Grubauer comes back, I call that a push. I think that they're, well, yeah, but we don't know how. It's at least 3 weeks, right? So it's 2 more weeks, and it could be longer. We still don't know how long he's going to be in that area, in the COVID protocol. So that's got a lot to do about it. He says Grubby is back next game. I don't think so. I'd be really surprised about that. He says, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Grubby and Rantanen and Donskey are out. It's a good win, but Avs have Alex Newhook for the playoffs, and I think we win 1, maybe 2 against them, but that team is going. Yeah, I'm not Okay, he's saying Grubby's back next game. He's off the COVID list. Okay, we'll see that. Grub has bad moments in the playoffs. I agree with there. When OR got the hat trick, I may or may not have got excited and almost broke something with my new hat. I love it. I love it. No, fun win, tight win. They played this game to win, and that's not what we've seen a lot for the Blues in the third period. They played games to lose, right? By playing that defensive style, or let's get it to the overtime. I was really concerned about that. I actually was hoping to get that other goal, so it would have been 6-3.
Yeah,
right.
I'll tell you.
Hey, go ahead.
Today could be one of those moments. Today could be the moment that things gel for the team, that things come together and things move forward. It could be it, because this was a big win. Again, they got Minnesota. Well, they got to play one more against the Avalanche.
Yeah.
No small test. Then they got Minnesota. I think Minnesota presents a different challenge, but a different opportunity for the Blues. And I think the Blues could really start flipping this whole division really upside down in the next week if they give the performance like they gave today. And Lance, I see you joined us. I'm interested in your take. I always appreciate the heat that you bring, my friend.
I thought the Blues had a pretty dang good third period. It wasn't perfect, but it was good enough to win. And when they needed that little extra spark, Ryan O'Reilly was there to give it to him. He just had a great game. And that's what you expect out of your captain. I don't know if the Blues are going to turn the division upside down. I don't see them catching Minnesota at all. They're just too many points behind. Even if they won all the games against Minnesota, they're still not going to catch Minnesota. They're playing for the fourth spot in the division against Arizona and San Jose, as far as what I can see. But yeah, they really, really played a good third period. And I don't think we've been able to say that in a long time. A lot of times when this team is tied 3-3 or down 3-2, they either go down 4-2 or they let the other team, come back and if they're tied and go ahead. So I'm really impressed by this effort that they had in the third period. I think it was a more complete period than the first period. And that's why they won the game the way that they did. And, they had a lot of pressure on Dubnyk in that third period, a lot more than I thought they had in the first two periods, especially the first 10 minutes of the first period and the second period. Yeah. So it was very refreshing to see this team come back and win one of these close games and get that empty net goal and make it 5-3. I just want to see what they do Monday. Are they gonna go back to their old ways? Are they gonna beat this Avalanche team and say, hey, you need to take us serious for the upcoming playoffs? We're gonna grab that fourth place spot. So I'm really interested in seeing what they do Monday.
Okay, so I just pulled up the standings. Minnesota is 30-13-3 for 63 points. We are 20-19-6 for 46 points. So if we win them all, we're at 56, and we still have to have them lose a few games. And you're right. I don't think that's going to happen. But I do see something that could happen. I could see Minnesota catching Colorado, right? Unless we tear them up. But Minnesota could catch Colorado. That's still tight for the top. Minnesota, I mean, they really could catch up to Vegas, right? They're even in games, so there's some possibility there.
Hey guys,
yeah, go ahead.
Say real quick, I just want to say hello, Ashley, because she always says hello, and I always feel like we don't get to her. And I know that she's a big fan, and Jordan as well. And I want to make sure I say hello because we always miss you guys.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I kind of mouthed it. I said,
yeah. No. Ashley knows we love her. Ashley knows we love her, and I try and get to all the comments I could. If Trevor really had COVID, not just it could be a week. Yeah. So I really don't know where he's at. I know he had more than one positive test. So, but it sounds like he might be back tomorrow. We'll see on that. Avs have game in hand. They have one game in hand. The Avs have one game in hand. They're even with us. I just looked. Ashley, thanks, Brock. This is one of those wins where you can build off of, but how do you build off it? Because what's going to happen Monday? Monday's an early game. It's a 6:00 start, St. Louis time, right? Yeah. Early start. And you've got Colorado coming. You didn't embarrass them, but you did beat them. And this is a team that does not like to get beat. a team that does not like to get beat, a team that's going to come firing first puck drop. So unless you're ready, you could be down 2-0 again. And if you're down 2-0 again, I don't think you're coming back. Right? I don't think you're doing that twice in a row. I really don't.
Are they just trying to skate out of town? They might just want to get out of town. They don't got nothing to really play for.
No, see, I disagree with that.
Position, I don't know.
Okay, so who would you rather face in the first round of the playoffs? Minnesota or St. Louis?
I'm just saying, though, for their point of view, they might be like, hey, we've been partying for 2 days. We clinched it. Let's just get out of town,
I don't know. I think not playing Minnesota is huge. I think let's put it this way. Go ahead, Richard.
I think I would rather play St. Louis, as Minnesota has been the most fun team to watch this year, and for good reason. They are the Minsk of Colorado. They are the Minsk of Vancouver last year. They have that firepower now. They have that stabilized D crops. Goaltending's been solid this year, quite surprisingly. I would much rather play the Blues. No offense to the Blues or anything, but for Wild, I could see upsetting Vegas.
Yeah, that would be great, and you bring up some great points.
Yeah,
I think people thought Minnesota would be better than they were last year, but I don't think people
this good.
saw them being this good. And I told people before the season, and Guy will attest to this, don't be shocked if Cam Talbot goes to Minnesota and plays very well.
Mm-hmm.
And he's played very, very well for that team. And, it used to be you'd go in against Edmonton when he was there and say, hey, it's going to be an easy game. Cam Talbot's in goal. You can't say that anymore. And Minnesota, I honestly think out of both teams, they're the most rounded. They're the most even. They're solid defensively, solid offensively, not super great, but pretty dang good. And they've got good goaltending.
And
yeah, go ahead.
Doesn't say they've played Vegas pretty tough.
Yeah, they have.
But Colorado's kind of had their numbers. That reminds me. So that's again a seeding situation where, that's going to really matter. So.
Yep.
Chris Shockley's asking if Dunn finished the game. I think he did.
I'm almost.
I know he took a hit or something.
Yeah, I'm almost positive he finished the game. I didn't see him go off.
16 minutes. Yeah, 16 minutes. So yeah, I'd say he finished the game. Yeah. Parayko had 5 minutes. So yeah, Bertuzzo only had 12. Yeah, so I think he finished the game.
I think Richard wanted to say something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, Richard.
Oh, go ahead, Rich.
I just wanted to talk about Ashley's comment about Kaprizov a couple of seconds ago. She said that we didn't expect that Kaprizov would be dynamite this year. And I have to disagree. I expected Kaprizov to be a 70-point, 80-point player before the season started. I'm going to take a bold take here, but Kaprizov will end his career better than Panarin. I think he's more explosive, and I honestly think he could lead the Wild to a cup in a couple of years.
Yeah, I will definitely agree with you. I love Panarin, and I think he came out of nowhere. He wasn't a guy that anybody expected to be a great player, and he's very, very good. Trust me, I've watched a lot of Rangers games. And he's a good guy, but I think that he's right. He's spot on. And I expected him to be good this year too. But I don't know if I expected him, Brock, to be this good, but I did expect him to be good.
Yeah, here's where I'm going with it, guys. And again, I just think it's too early to tell. It's like these first-year players, we see it all the time. They come out, they have a great season on the second year. Let's see how he adjusts that second, third year before I'm going to, anoint him a long-term solution. I think he's doing a great job. He's a fun player to watch. I mean, his goals are highlight reel goals, and he really brings a lot of excitement. And I think that's the type of player that gets a lot of attention in the playoffs and gets a lot of highlight reels. And I think a lot of attention comes to them. And sometimes those guys step forward, and sometimes they fall by the wayside. Tarasenko has been a player who in the past has fallen by the wayside in a lot of those situations. So let's see what Kaprizov does if he's able to handle it and be a player for the long term. I mean, I don't question the skill. He's a fabulous guy to watch.
So I'm kind of it's not just Kaprizov. You got to look at Kokkonen too, the goalie, right? He rolled off a whole bunch of wins. That was something that got him into it. So they've got a good 1-2 punch. Now he's fallen back a little bit, right? You know, the league started to catch up to him, just like Bennington did for a while. Bennington had a run, and then the league caught up to him a little bit before he changed his game back up. And that's what, you know, you're expecting from there. A series with Minnesota is going to be a good series and is going to go 6 or 7. Whoever finishes first in this division is going to get St. Louis, Phoenix, or LA. They're going to make short work of St. Louis, Phoenix, or LA. I think Phoenix, or I think Arizona. I keep saying thing. Arizona and LA could be sweeps or 5-game series. St. Louis could go 5 or 6. I think St. Louis is good enough for 2 wins. They're good. St. Louis is good enough to win a game on the road, right? They're a good road team.
Did I hear that Connor Garland he's out for Arizona? So
Yep.
that's a big loss.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yep. You're right. That
Huge
is a big
loss.
loss for them,
Yep.
and that, you know, might bode well for St. Louis coming into this. I would really like to see us have our playoff spot before we get to those 3 games in hand.
Yeah, I would too.
Right? Because at those 3 games in hand, I would rotate guys in and out. Right?
You know,
I would let some of the I would sit some guys for the first game and then then let a couple others, like the first game's against LA.
Yeah.
Right? I'd let against LA, I'd let Joshua and Walker and those guys play if we've got our spot.
Well,
Excuse me.
I think a blue to watch is Clem Costin. He kind of flew under the radar for the Blues in the minor league system. He came in as a prospect who was expected to go higher than his draft position in 30th overall. I think if he slides into that third line in late here in the stretch, he could have some sort of impact and give us a sense to what we should expect from him.
Yep.
You know, I was going to say real quick, a lot of people are kind of pointing to, you know, teams like Anaheim and LA. And I want to remind people too, you know, Anaheim, they just lost Jacob Silverberg, and he's really one of their, he might even be their captain, I don't know, but he really holds that team together. So I definitely think you see a different Anaheim team when they come in. You know, LA always plays us tough, though. They still got Kopitar and Dustin Brown and Doughty. They're going to be, they don't ever roll over for us, at least. So, you know, I'm very concerned about LA. But again, Arizona kind of feel like they're just tough to play without Connor Garland. And then, you know, Anaheim without Jacob Silverberg. Those are big losses.
Well, what I like with Anaheim is they got that kid from Team USA.
Drysdale?
Terry.
Drysdale?
Floyd Terry.
Yeah. The kid with the Z name.
Trevor Zegga.
Yeah.
Zegga.
Yeah. He's got the tools, the skills, and the wit, right, to lead that team in a couple of years. If they're at that point when we play them that they're out, which they probably will be, I can see them playing the kids a lot more. Someone actually asked, who do you think we have a better chance against, Vegas or Colorado?
Colorado. Not Vegas.
No? What do you think, Lance?
I think Colorado. I think this game proves it, and the Blues have played them pretty decently. They've lost some games and then kind of fell apart. But, you know, if the Blues go hot into the playoffs and reel off 5, 6, 7 wins and they're playing their game, they could stun somebody. If they kind of crawl in and drop in and, you know, win 3 out of their last 8 or 9 and they just fall into place, I don't see them surprising either team, Colorado or Vegas. But I'm with Brock. I think Colorado, they got a better chance of beating the Avalanche. I think they know how to beat them more than they know how to beat the Knights.
I think I'm going to disagree with both of you guys here because, as I said previously, Colorado plays that fast-paced game Vancouver played against St. Louis last year. Well, Vegas, I see a lot of similarities with this Vegas team and the Blues team a couple of years ago. They played the same structure. They played the same part of the game. They are a relatively tough team. They have scoring all over the place. That we have solid defense and Vegas goaltending. That's the best tandem in the league. But St. Louis can outplay them at their own game as they have been playing it longer. Like, I don't see St. Louis upsetting Vegas at all, but I can see St. Louis making it in 6 games.
I don't know. We're gonna all disagree on this.
No. I Richard, I'm on board with you. And here's the thing: up until this year, Vegas had never beaten St. Louis in regulation. But
Guy, you know, it's like Brock said it's the second intermission or first intermission. Let's not think about the past. The past has nothing to do with this. I know, year. But this is a different. This is a different Vegas team than it has been. It's a more well-rounded team than it has.
Okay, been. You're right. But Richard brings up a really good point.
Yeah, he does.
Wait, these two teams are very, very similar, and St. Louis has been playing it longer. St. Louis, let's go back to yours. Let's say we're winning 4 or 5 games going into the playoffs. If we're winning 4 or 5 games going into the playoffs, I want Vegas. I want Vegas if we're that hot going into the playoffs because we've seen both Lanier and Fleury have issues in the playoffs. We've seen them have issues together, and we've seen that defense break down. Colorado, that fast team, you got to grind the crap out of them, and I don't think we can.
Boy, I'll tell you what, I respectfully disagree with both you guys because, again, Vegas, pick your poison. Is it going to be Jonathan Marchessault? Is it going to be Mark Stone? Is it going to be, Alec Martinez? Is it going to be, Riley? You just keep naming off the stars and they just keep coming at you. And I just don't think there's any break. They don't make mistakes. They really don't. They play heavy. They're well coached. Peter DeBoer, I think, is an excellent coach. I think he's been kind of waiting for this moment. He's been the Craig Berube of the past, the guy who's been trying to get to here. And I think this is going to be his moment. So I'll tell you, Vegas really scares me. Their goalie tandem, I think, is tough. I don't play either of them, but I'll tell you what, I would rather play Colorado. Again, I respect what you're saying, Richard, and I respect what you're saying, Guy, but I think really, man, that's a veteran team. Max Pacioretty, we haven't even talked about Max Pacioretty, and that's a guy, that guy could kill you alone, and I think he's got a hat trick against the Blues this year, or he sure has had his way with the Blues this year. So again, that's a team that really frightens me.
Yeah, because one of the reasons I agree with Brock, and I think everybody's got great points. We all have excellent points to our opinions, but I think Colorado, their defensemen are more offensive defensemen. If you wear them down like the Blues tried to do in this game, you're going to get some good scoring opportunities. The Blues had a lot of good scoring opportunities. I think the Vegas is a more rounded team than Colorado is. And Colorado's fast, but you can slow them down. And the Blues showed in this game that, we let them get their goals, but we slowed them down when we needed to. And I just think that Colorado would, it's going to be a better matchup for us than it would be for the Knights. And that's just my opinion.
You know what scares me about Vegas entering the playoffs? The depth at centerman. After William Carlson, who do they have though? They have a second-year pro who hasn't impressed in Cody Glass. Mm-hmm. They have Peyton Krebs and for minors who could be called up, but will do no better than Cody Glass. And a veteran fourth-liner in Bellemare. Oh, wait, no, Bellemare's in Colorado. Never mind about that.
That's right, yeah.
So,
I really like Cody Glass. For some reason, I like the way he works. He works hard. And like I said, I think we have all great opinions. And we definitely know that 2 of us are going to be right.
You know what's great? I love the fact that we can disagree. There's no name calling. There's no bugging out. We're just talking about what we see.
I love you too, Ashley. And it's fine that you disagree with me. I respect that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the great thing about this show. I've seen other shows where guys who disagree on the same show start yelling at each other, or in the comments, we don't have that. Yep. We've got a really good group here, and I'm enjoying this. This is a lot of fun. Jason says, this might be Vegas' last window for 50-year Blues. Did it in, 67, 68, 69. Maybe. But see, Vegas got Vegas got. I'm trying to think of the right words. Vegas got this handed to them on a platter, right? The way they did the
expansion draft.
The expansion draft for them.
Totally different than what the Sharks had to deal with. Totally different than what the Lightning had to deal with. They gift wrapped this one almost for Vegas.
Different than what the Kraken.
Yeah.
Well, the Kraken. See, this was something that they hadn't done before. Was the deals? You know, you can get. I'll give you a 3rd round draft pick if you take this guy. That set them up. It really did. And not only that, the guys that were out there were some pretty damn good guys out there.
Yeah, there were. And Richard, you were going to say something?
Yeah.
Well, I agree with you. Vegas was given a golden opportunity with drafts being way different than what Columbus, Minnesota, Tampa had to deal with. But this Vegas team isn't the same that it was in 2018 when it was originally made. They went out and bought players. They bought Pietrangelo. They bought Markstone. They bought Mastats already. They brought in some solid players in Sandler Stevenson, Bellemare, Reeves. This team is a bought team. If Vegas wins, it shows that buying wins in the NHL. And Leonard was also bought too. It shows
Well, you say it's a bought team, and I definitely agree. That's a great point. But the window for bought teams is about a year. I mean, that's it. There's not. I mean, so you're right. I think Vegas, and they're old. They are old. So in the playoff series, they might get wore down. They might get beat up a lot, and that's what we did to the Sharks last year. We beat them up and embarrassed them, and not last year, the year before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, again, I don't know. I'm interested to see what's going to take place. I'm just happy we won today. That just set the tone for, we got to get going on Monday and then the rest of the week.
Well, you got 4 games this week. You have Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday.
Yeah, and I don't think the Blues have more than 1 day off between games for the rest of the year.
They don't. They do. They do after Vegas. After Vegas, they got 2 off.
I thought.
I think so. Let me double check that. I just had the schedule up.
Anyway.
I just had the schedule up a minute ago, so just give me a quick moment as I try and figure this mouse and stuff out. So hey, one more topic to get into.
Question, Richard. You said you're a fan of the Rangers. I can't see your jersey. What do you got?
I'm a fan of the Red Wings, but I have a Rangers jersey on because number one, it came in today. I bought it last night, and it came in today.
Cool.
It's a Henrik Lundqvist one. He's my favorite player of this decade because he was the heartbeat of that New York team. I believe New York should have won in the 2014 Cup Finals and should have beaten Tampa Bay in 2015.
It's too bad he couldn't get a cup there because he was there a lot of years and they had some pretty good teams for several of those years and they just couldn't put it together and be able to get him a Stanley Cup. And hopefully, I wish him the best and hope that he can come back and be able to be at least a backup in Washington. And that would be really great for him to do that.
And I just want to welcome you because I think you bring some great points and really interested in reading some of your stuff. So again, just want to say thanks for being part of what we're doing, man.
Yeah.
Great.
I agree with Steven. Anything can happen in the playoffs just to get there. But if you remember, the Blues were one of the hottest team, if not the hottest team, the year they got in the playoffs and won the cup. You can't back into the playoffs and do anything. It's not like baseball. It's a different game. And that's why I'll say to my death, to win the Stanley Cup is harder than any other professional championship in the world. People can disagree with me, but it is.
I absolutely agree with you. I'm 100% on board with you. Hey, Richard, real quick for your for the Hart Trophy, can you give me your bottom your 6 through 10? I want to do a little write up on that because I think McKinnon's kind of coming up a little bit, and we can I want to add those to it. So you can just send me the names, and I'll do an add to that.
I can name them here if you would like. Like I can come up with a list of 5 names on the spot if you want.
Well, I mean, you probably can, but I got nothing to write it down, and my memory's not that great. So send it to me by email because I'll forget it, man. I'll forget it the moment I turn the mic off. And I don't mean that. That's not disrespect to you. That's a military memory that I got now. That my short-term memory is shot.
Sure.
I'm lucky. I remember there's a game coming up.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Somebody.
No, I just was going to say it. Again, we're happy to have you here. We're great for the perspective that you bring. Again, the Blues fans, they've been hurting. We've set a standard, and the standard hasn't been met up to last year for sure, and this year. So I think you're going to find a lot of fans are very. They mean well, and again, some people go over the edge, but here we try to keep things very respectful, and I like that. I think that's there's a room for everybody to talk, a room for everybody to bring their comments. The comments we get from the fans are always very well thought out. They're not rude or ignorant. So again, I hope you enjoy yourself here, Richard, and welcome again to the team. So I wanted to definitely mention that.
Yeah.
I am excited to be finally in hockey, as I've been trying to crack into the media world of hockey for some time. I recently released my own channel called Sports Street with Richard Campbell, either one of the guys or one of the viewers want to check it out. We'll go through all sports in a non-biased view, just stating the news at TSN or Sportsnet. And what my opinions are on, for example, the trade deadline. I had a personal opinion on each and every trade that was brought up. So
great.
Good.
Yeah, hey man, we're gonna be working with you, Richard, a lot more, and we're gonna be working with you more on the video side. You and me have talked about that a little bit. As your channel starts to develop, we're gonna bring you in. If you're still okay with it, we're going to bring you into the BlueNote Fan Report umbrella and start promoting you as your channel gets its fit, especially since you do all sports. I love that. You do a great job. Of course, you're not. Guy was wrong. Oh yeah. So I know I'm getting banged because I thought Ashley was older than she was. Yeah. That was not smart. You know what? That was a fun show though. When I did the ladies' night, I'm going to have to do that more often. That was a lot of fun. Those ladies really brought it, and I enjoyed it. Hey everyone, you're watching the BlueNote Fan Report on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. I'm Guy, the Hawaii Blues fan, your host. I'm joined today by up above me, Lance the Scott from the Drop Hockey Podcast. Over in the corner, that corner. I'm joined by Brock Banner. I'll get it there somewhere. And on the side here by Richard Campbell. Thank you guys so much. This has been a lot of fun. I'm brought to you today by Forrest Crump Enterprises, Mike Zuka Enterprises, and War Stories Coffee. Check us out on stlfanreport.com. Well, guys, we're coming up on the 40-minute mark, so I'm going to cut this at 45. Really good win. Richard, tell us what you got going on and what you're expecting for Monday.
What do you mean for Monday? Do you mean about the Blues game on Monday?
Yeah, the Blues game on Monday, bud.
Well, against the Wild, as I previously stated, they are very similar to the Avalanche. So I would expect the same pace of the game as the Blues have demonstrated against Colorado. It's just the same type of game they have played.
Yeah, they're playing Colorado's one more time.
Yeah, playing Colorado again.
Later in the week. So it's no big deal. But listen, man, I expect this to be a very pivotal week for the Blues. You hate to say it. You wish they would have built a cushion. They didn't. By the miracle of God, they're still in it. But this is a week they really have to show people that they're legitimate. They're not the laughing stock. Otherwise, they're just kind of also ran. Like they say in Ricky Bobby, if you ain't first, you're last, and that's the way this division is. If you're not first, you're last. So this is going to be a big week for the Blues to see how they respond and see what they come up with. I would love to see them at least get some ties or wins in all these games and come out without any losses. I'd love to see it. Not sure.
Yeah, need points. Got to get points, and that's all there is to it. Points. Got to get points. Lance, what you got going on, bud?
I'd like to see the Blues go 8-3. They got 11 games left, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Whether that'll happen, I'm not sure. If they play like they did today for the most part, they've got a good chance of winning every single one of those games because there were a few bad points, especially in the first few minutes of that first period, the first 10 minutes when the Avalanche went up 2-0. They can't keep doing that and expect to come back. You can't keep doing that with any team, whether it's Arizona, whether it's Anaheim, whether it's the Kings, whether it's the Wild, whoever. You can't keep doing that. I do think the Blues are very fortunate that Arizona or San Jose or the Kings haven't taken some control and tried to really push for that fourth place spot. But let's get some full momentum going and really go into the playoffs if you're going to make the playoffs on a high note. Let's not back in. I'll be happy if they back in because they made it, but it's a lot better to look forward to something when the team's on a hot streak.
And I want to just jump in real quick because earlier Jamie Rivers was on the radio earlier in the season, and it was when the Blues were having all these injuries. He said, the thing that you really got to watch is the heavy minutes that Ryan O'Reilly's been playing and that David Perron's been playing. And now what's the impact here later on the season? Because they've carried the load. That load needs to shift to someone else, and they need those guys need to be able to kind of regain their strength and regain. They can't carry the load every night. It can't be on them. And I think Rivers was correct that they big minutes and heavy minutes that really took a toll on their bodies, and they need a break.
No, I absolutely agree with that. That's why I'm kind of hoping that when they get to those 3 extra games, that the 3 extra games don't matter.
Yeah.
Right? That they really don't matter. Because there's 2 things that could happen with those 3 extra games if they get to the point where they don't matter. Right? They could either make them play and let us sit out, or the NHL has also said that if games were inconsequential, they may drop them.
Yeah.
Right? So if these games do come up to be inconsequential, they could drop them. So I would like to see some more guys. Hey, by the way, last topic before we go, Tarasenko. He had a great game tonight. He didn't put one in the net in the back, but I thought he played really well in all 3 zones. I'm going to start with Lance on this one.
Yeah, I thought he had a good game. There's people after the second period that kept saying, "Where's Tarasenko? He's not skating. He's just standing there." And I don't remember a time in the game where he stood there. I don't know what game they were watching, but he was strong defensively. He had some good opportunities, and he's going to get goals eventually, whether it's this year, next year, whatever. But, a guy like that is not going to go 13 games without a goal or 11 games without a goal. He's just not. If they play him like they should and put him in a position to succeed, he should get a couple more goals before this season is over. And hopefully he'll be in a hot streak for the rest of the year because right now he's playing strong defensively. He's getting opportunities. He's not being lazy out there like some people have accused him of. And I think he's done pretty good.
Yeah.
Brock?
For me, I still want to see him. I still want to see him on the score sheet. We brought him in to score. We're paying him money to score. We've talked about that a long time. I'm not going to bring that back up. So we're paying him to score, and I want to see him start scoring, or at least start dishing it off, getting some assists. Another thing that really struck me about today's game was that, again, we can't get down by 2 goals. That's not going to ever help us in the long run. And number 2, we have to start. And Lance, I'm going to give you credit. It was a perfect comment. We have to start approaching the blue line with authority. And I thought that was a very good comment. I really looked for that in the third period. And that was still a little shaky about approaching the blue line with the puck like you're in there to make a play instead of dumping and chasing and scrambling. Those work, but boy, when you approach the blue line with authority, that's when your offense is clicking, and I want to see that.
You guys want to hear a stat line? This is somebody's stat line. 3, 1, 4, 2, 3. 3 goals, 1 assist, 4 points, +2, 3 shots.
O'Reilly.
3 goals on 3 shots.
O'Reilly.
Right?
Oh.
That's O'Reilly's stat line. Nothing else that he was definitely the star of tonight's game. They probably gave first star to McKinnon though, but I didn't see the first star, but yeah. And Ashley said capitalizing on a 5-3 really helped. I skipped you, Rich. What did you think of Tarasenko's play tonight, Rich?
Well, I think, as you said, Tarasenko was pretty good in all three zones. I didn't see a bad moment by him throughout the game, in my opinion. And like, I came in late in the first period, so maybe he did something early in the first. But from what I've seen, he was solid in the middle of the ice, solid defensively. He was still offensively. Now, I don't see Tarasenko producing like his old self for the rest of the year. I see him becoming an average player, like a 40-point player throughout in an 82-game season throughout the rest of the regular season. And I honestly don't see him going back to his 70, 80-point form ever again. I just don't think that's the player he is anymore.
Yeah.
You're right.
You could be right, but I think you're seeing some flashes there. And actually, Chris, that first goal, if you shoot and it hits something and goes in, they count it as a shot. They do. So it goes up as a shot. So that was one of his 3 shots. The one that went off the other play, or the Avalanche player went in. But you take what you can get. Guys, this was a lot of fun tonight.
Mike Hoffman's goal. I'm guarantee you're going to see that highlight when he signs with this new team. That's the highlight they're going to show on all the TV stations. Mike Hoffman slapping that goal.
Well, do you know what they said after that? After that, I put on Twitter, there's the reason why I want him on the first and second line.
Yeah.
That's why he should be there all the time.
Yep. I agree. He's got that shot, and that's where he's at.
Guy, did you say Mike Hoffman? Was that a player you said earlier that you thought he could come on? Did you kind of throw that in jokingly?
Said the what?
That Hoffman would be a big player today or something?
No, I picked Hoffman. I knew it.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I knew it. I picked Hoffman. I just had this feeling that Hoffman was going to. In fact, when we left, I said Hoffman gets a hat trick. I was hoping for it, but no, this was a fun game, good game. I appreciate everybody for sticking around. Monday, early game, so I'll be on at 6 o'clock, so 5:30. So 12:30 my time. 12:30 my time. So afternoon game for me. I love y'all. This is Guy the Hawaii Blues fan, saying aloha, mahalo, and I can't wait to see you on the next BlueNote Fan Report. Richard, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Aloha.